Hey everyone, this is Lori with Three Keys Astrology, and today we're going to look at the Black Moon Lilith that lives inside of Amber Heard. Today is her birthday. Amber Heard was born in Austin, Texas on April 22nd, 1986, and she is involved at this moment with the trial instigated by her former spouse, Johnny Depp, in a defamation and libel trial. He's suing her for $50 million and she's countersuing him for $100 million. In this video, we've been looking at several people and the way their Black Moon Lilith operates in life. In this video, Black Moon Lilith is not exact, but conjunct her Venus in Taurus. Now, Amber Heard has her sun in Taurus, her moon in Libra. Both are Venus ruled. We can see her as very beautiful. There's no definitive birth time, so this is a chart based on an Aries rising sign, which fits, but I think there's something better, and I'll talk about that later. This video is particularly interested in the analysis, the psychoanalysis of her particular Lilith. At this moment in time, we're all witnessing the horrors of just how ugly relationships can be. Black Moon Lilith in Amber Heard's chart is in the house of Taurus, which is owned by Taurus, actually. And it's in the axis between Taurus and Scorpio. This is about money and sex. And both she and Johnny Depp have used drugs illegally. They seem to very much enjoy them. They have quite the Neptunian relationship. This, again, if many of you are interested, I'll take a look at the analysis of the love and hate relationship between these two people. But in this case, I want to give you a tiny little timeline, just so you know, if you're not familiar, because I wasn't very familiar with Amber Heard. I only just heard about her last year when they were on trial against a publication called The Sun in London, in the UK. And there's plenty of video footage. In fact, I'm going to be linking a really interesting and horrifying to the similarity. Now, I do want to tell you that we astrologers can see mental illness in the chart. We can see things that are sinister and ugly. And if you come and study astrology with me, I'll definitely teach you these methods. One of the things that I can tell you is there was an alarming look right off the bat of some kind of bipolarity. I believe she's indeed been diagnosed with bipolarity and anxiety disorders, psychopathy, and narcissistic tendencies in a maladjusted personality disorder. And these were diagnosed and have been made public now because of these very public trials that are all publicized. So to make it another theme again, we keep talking about Lilith and who she is and what her energy is, and she's a mister, she's a mistress, she's someone who's sneaking behind someone else's back in love relationships and illicit drug use, in criminal tendencies, in criminal activities, I should say. In this case, again, young Amber Heard meets Johnny Depp, who's almost 30 years her senior, and begins an illicit affair behind his wife's back and a marriage that he had for 14 years. Now, this focuses on Amber, but believe me when I tell you, I clearly do see the part that Johnny played in this, although when it comes to physical and violent abuse, the two were very volatile together. They were like gasoline and matches. We've known people like this. They're very destructive. And each of these people are self-destructive, but she's more aggressive, in my opinion. So they meet on the set of Rum Diaries and destroy together his marriage. And now his children don't have a daddy anymore at home. And this, after that, they become engaged in March 2014. They get married February 3rd, 2015. And by May 16th, some critical things happen on May 21st that are disgusting, absurd, and horrid. And along with repeated problems over and over and over and over again, On May 16th, there's video footage of her sneaking James Franco and Elon Musk into the home that she shared with Johnny Depp, a property he purchased, and allowed, I think, 5 or 6 of her friends to live rent free in a condominium in New York City. He did the same kind of thing over and over again with many people he was close to. Johnny Depp is very generous, but in my opinion, taken advantage of. Amber Heard's Black Moon Lilith and Taurus and Venus talks about stealing money. And indeed, within this marriage that lasted from February the 3rd and ended on physically ended by May 21st, 2016, really the month before that, it was around her birth, they were finding out details of a disgusting and disturbing incident where she, indeed, or one of her friends, defecated on Johnny's side of the bed. This was after a horrible fight in Australia where he was on location for Pirates 5 and had to be detained from his obligations and duties at work because she shattered his finger throwing vodka bottles at him. The use of his finger, it had to be sewed back on. And then, if that's not bad enough, she took a lit cigarette out of his ashtray and burned his face. And there are pictures of this. Now, I'm going to link a video that's pretty incriminating and interesting, and I'll let you be the judge of this. And remember, you're talking about 2 actors that have high probability and possibility. They're experts at body language, they're experts at interpretation, and experts at embellishments, both of them. By June 2018, they're calling Johnny Depp a wife beater with a little help from Amber. She's dropping videotape, secret recordings. Now, both of them do this. They secretly record each other, video and audio. This is very Neptunian. This is very disturbing. This happens a lot in the cell phone age of people that are involved in ugly relationships. Um, people that These 2 people are living very illicit, drug-induced lives, sneaking from the government this illicit activity and behavior, and yet then they turn into cops of each other and videotape and share it and all kinds of things. She was dropping things off at TMZ, and finally in London, where Johnny Depp's children attend school, she's helped aid and abet that he's a wife beater. And things go downhill from there. And this is the reason that he's seeking libel in this defamation case, because, in my opinion, she was married to him legally for 23 months. During that time, she had sexual soirees with many females and males. When I first heard about Amber Heard and the way she was talking to Johnny, which would be her Mercury, and the things she was saying in these recorded tapes that have been made public, I kept hearing words like an angry lesbian would say. Very hateful, demeaning, and a masochistic, calling him a coward and pussy, and derogatory things that were, as I said, things you would expect from an angry lesbian. Now, it's interesting in her chart because she's got a balance of masculine and feminine planets. However, the 2 feminine planets that would explain her femininity are in a horrible T-square. And at the top of her chart, she has, where the whole wide world can see, we have Uranus, and it's retrograde in Sagittarius. We have Saturn that's retrograde in Sagittarius. All are conjunct Mars and Capricorn. Now, I just did a Black Moon Lilith explanation for Jude Law, who also had this a similar situation, in that Amber Heard has a conjunction between Mars and Neptune, just like um, Jude Law has. Jude Law had it in Scorpio in the 10th house. Amber Heard has her Mars at the very top of her chart, saying she's a warrior. And if indeed Aries is her rising sign, she dresses militantly. She dresses She likes to look masculine and wear her hair. She likes to flip back and forth between looking either very masculine or very feminine, which is an indication also and an explanation of the creativity of her sexuality. Is she had who she called a wife. I'm not sure there was a legal marriage with a woman that she was involved with in her 20s before she married Johnny Depp. She continued to have lesbian affairs and sexual Uranian sexual experiences. I'll just say that, wink wink, wink wink, for those of you that know astrology. Um, with Mars, Uranus, and Saturn in a triple conjunction at the top of your chart for the world can see, this is very explosive energy, and it happens to be the apex of the T square between her Sun and her Venus. What does that mean? It means it's Mars is a death planet, Uranus is shock and destabilization, and Mars and Neptune is that masculine energy and that fantasy. But in Capricorn, where it's exalted, it's a warrior, a fighter. It wants to fight with these two malefics and fight to the death, just like Jada Pinkett had in her chart that I did on Black Moon Lilith. All these are available on the channel. Please share them. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for helping me and enjoying these. Please comment below if you know anybody else that's in these. So this very volatile, ugly, volatile and violent, where I think she's the aggressor. He hurts himself with his drug addiction and his alcoholism. However, he tries to get help for it. And there's horrible tears will run down your cheeks when you hear about the energy between these two people and just how horribly they treated each other. It was diabolical. Amber Heard's Venus conjunct her Black Moon Lilith will talk to us about having Taurus as a sign of relationships. It's Venus ruled, and it's about what we value, and it's very feminine. But she's got an opposite Pluto in Scorpio. And there's a whole generation of you that have your Pluto in Scorpio, and this is hard. This is being very interested in crime stories, being very interested in conspiracy theories, being very interested in the dark side, being very interested in experimenting the dark side. This would be sadomasochism and sexuality between Taurus and Scorpio. It also indicates that she had some psychological issues with her own mother. Now, when I observed Amber Heard in the trials in that happened in the UK, you get a feeling of ADD. And I was thinking that I was going to see some stories in her Mercury. Well, she indeed has Mercury in Aries. Now, Mercury's fast and quick and very responsive and very, and can be aggressive. And she is. And she's been downright hateful, but flippant and in a hurry and like get going. And it's squaring that Mars, Neptune, and Capricorn. That's a time bomb of all kinds of agitation and irritability. And she's also admitted to having food disorders. And she's got her beautiful moon in Libra. But again, it's squaring the Mars and Neptune in Capricorn. I forget the name of it because I'm an older woman and not familiar with the drugs, but she loved ecstasy and something called M something. I learned it and then I'm sorry I already forgot it. But she and a woman that was a best friend to her in school who identifies male but was born female, she has this entourage. And as I said before, the midheaven shows how the whole wide world sees you. With her Mars and Neptune up there, and that's masculine. Remember, Mars is masculine. And she shows, she likes to dress that way. Or she goes to the extreme. And the bipolarity in her chart shows that all the energy of planets are here and here. In astrology, we call this a seesaw. And the person can literally waver back and forth between who am I? What am I? Black Moon Lilith is definitely poisoning that feminine identity and will make her steal and lie and cheat. Mars and Neptune can lie a lot. Fight with words, twist things, and betray over and again, and then justify it. Mars and with the Aries, which is a warrior Mercury. That's someone who wants to fight. And Mars and Capricorn wants to fight. And she's got plenty of it and had plenty of it before she met Johnny Depp. Her seventh house, Libra, is a moon Libra. She admits to being codependent and begs and pleads him not to abandon and leave her. Libra, again, is the second indication of this seesaw chart where the planets are, her whole energy is up and down, up and down, up and down. And when you add cocktails of drug use and abuse and alcoholism and this volatile couples that cross the line of disrespect and get physical with each other keep pushing it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it and to a disgusting end that she or somebody she knows would defecate in Johnny's bed in these properties where they all live for free. And the things they did is disturbing, disgusting, and psychopathic. Now, I'm older, so the older population watching this video will remember Joan Crawford, a film actress that a horrible film called Mommy Dearest was written about her by her own daughter. As Amber Heard sits through this trial compared to younger Amber in the trial in London, we see a nervous, she's even eating during a deposition. I mean, who does that? And she's smirking and she's disorganized. And like I said, I could see ADD, her attention span, and just it was very confusing. Like ADD is a brain that's not firing correctly. But in this go round, it's spoken that she gave birth to a baby. They don't know who the baby's father is because she's not married and she doesn't have a husband and nor a lover. And this child is rumored to belong to Elon Musk. No one knows for sure, but Elon Musk was taking his turn, as well as James DeFranco, sneaking in the elevator where there's vile footage that'll be shown with the link in the videos that I'm including in this not forecast, but this Black Moon Lilith explanation and analysis. Um, I said to you in the last video when I was talking about Jude Law, whenever you've got the sexual planets, Venus or Mars, and any kind of struggle with Pluto, things can get really ugly between couples, and the sex can be painful and dangerous. And what comes out of the sexuality is something that turns demonic in obsession and following people and stalking people, with Mars and Neptune filming them and just wanting to expose them and exploit them, and in a very warrior energy. Amber Heard's a warrior, and she's violent. And this isn't the first time. And she doesn't want to identify herself because she likes to have sex with whoever she wants to. She's latches on to married men and powerful men. And then she floats back and forth between a sweet little girl with a sweet voice, and she's very pretty. Taurus gifts beauty, and Moon in Libra gifts beauty, and she is very beautiful. And Elon Musk was somebody whose marriage, or not marriage, but his relationship to Grimes that she interfered with. Johnny Depp's marriage of 14 years she interfered with. And I don't think James Franco is married, but she later went on, and oh my gosh, don't you know, I just forgot the name of it. You guys will know. The Aquaman, I think, movie. Um, the lead, what is his name? You can comment below because I have gosh darn forgotten it. But I've been working all day and I'm tired. I've done a lot of readings and teaching. Um, Samoa, the big bodybuilder guy that she was in that Aquaman movie with, he was married to Precious Lisa Bonet. Gosh, we love her. We've known her forever and she's sweet as ever. And this was her second marriage. Jason, I think it is Jason Samoa. You guys help me out. I'm an old lady. Anyway, so this marriage was also destroyed by an affair with Amber Heard. Amber Heard seems to just do whatever she wants to. Her Lilith is going to interfere with her love life. Unless she gets serious help and admits it, it's going to keep interfering with her love life, and it has. Opposite Pluto, the love affair becomes a power struggle at every occasion. If you have this combination in opposition, in square, and in conjunction, that's tension, that's power struggle, that's problems. For all of you that have Pluto and Scorpio, I'm very happy to do your readings. Get to the bottom of this and figure out that love isn't fatal attraction, that we don't have to kill the people that we love. We don't have to fight with them, exploit them, sue them. In my humble opinion, for a 23-month marriage that was nothing but hardship and hell, she got $7 million in a divorce, and Johnny signed that over, and that was done and done. They filed for divorce in May 2016. They were married in February 2015. By August, he had paid her $7 million, and she wasn't done. She kept taunting him and taunting him. She wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post. She, was calling him a wife beater. And please take the time at the end of this video and watch the link that I send you. I spent the week, started last week to off and on, listening to parts of this trial. I have not listened but for snippets to the trial that happened in the UK. But I think I'll do more if you're interested. I'll look at his Black Moon Lilith, and then I'll look at them as a couple, because I offer couples readings and individual readings about Black Moon Lilith that are available at astrology.com, where I'm an advanced intuitive astrologer and offer my services there, as well as owning my own business, which came first. And that I've a bit neglected while I've been working for Lotta. So please share my videos if you like them, and comment below if you're interested in anybody else's Black Moon Lilith, or you have a personal story. You can email me at ducky@threekeysastrology.com. You guys, if you're involved in these kinds of relationships, reach out. There are crisis centers. There are hotlines. There are people that went to school to help you and save you from this. Now, all of our stars right now are about new beginnings and new chapters in life. It's a damn shame in this person's life, for I'm old enough to be her mother, this Amber Heard. It's a damn shame that her birthday this year again is sitting in a court of law. Why didn't they just let it be? Let it be. Let it be. She got $7 million of a man's hard work. He's been an actor for many, many years, and she physically maimed him and put a cigarette butt out in his face. And it is my opinion that I don't think that he was physical with her. Not at all. I've listened to the testimony of their therapist, who called Amber Heard's conversation style like a jackhammer. Mercury in Aries is like that. They say what they want, blah, 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 and never hear anything you have to say. And they're impulsive. And if you're on drugs and altering your mind and chemical makeup, that makes monsters out of people. They both used a lot of cocaine. And that substance can make people very angry and very ugly and very abusive. And when you add alcohol and Red Bull and coffee and this, they were just on this roller coaster of up and down, up and down, up and down, when she was already born with stars that indicate some mental frailty and questioning and confusion about the woman that she is and her identity. So today it's her birthday, and today she sits accused of libel and defamation in a $50 million lawsuit. But again, they won't let go of the fight. They're like two dogs pulling on a piece of steak. So they wrestle on the ground and they film each other, and it's public, and neighbors hear it, and friends get involved, and people are upset, and families are destroyed, and children are embarrassed that are part of a marriage that Johnny Depp had before he met her. And it's mano a mano, man, and they are on each other all the time. And now, still, she has to countersue and double the amount. It's not good enough. And that's Black Moon Lilith and Taurus. And against Pluto. Remember I told you? Black Moon Lilith is like the devil's mistress. She has the same kind of energy as Pluto, ruler of the underworld. And so we have this very dynamic tug of war and fight and hate and vengeance and volatility. Like I said, gasoline and matches. I hope that none of you are going through this. And I hope that you know, all you have to do is pick up your telephone. Since we had the pandemic, there are many therapists that are offering teletherapy. Whole groups of psychotherapists get together. I know there's something called Better Health where you can find therapists online. If you're involved in any kind of violence, it's time to make changes. It's not okay for anyone, no matter the relationship, to strike you. It's not okay for anyone to power over you, to try to control you, to film you, to stalk you, to hunt you, to take your hard work, or interfere with the work that is your life or your purpose and destiny. So please know that there's all kinds of people that have dedicated their lives to help you do better and to escape from that kind of control and domination. Again, I'm going to repeat, it's my opinion that Amber Heard is one messed up little girl. And an unusual thing, too, I was saying, even though she doesn't have a partner, she apparently became a mother via surrogacy. And Uranus at the top of the chart, involving in that T-square, also speaks of an unusual birth, or something's unusual because it's in that T-square to the moon, and the moon is pregnancy, and especially with Venus. So there's so much tension in this woman's chart, in this woman's life, and she creates a lot of problems. They said that she was arrested for domestic violence against this woman that was her wife. Um, and you'll see about that, I think, in the link that I'm giving you. Tasha, I think the woman's name was. But yeah, the apex to the T-square is that Mars and Neptune is retrograde. And I think that's the planet, not love. It wasn't Venus that brought Johnny and Amber together. It was drugs and money and sex and rock and roll and a free ride. And Lilith loves that. Can you imagine somebody paying rent? These adults are all living rent free that are Amber's entourage for years at Johnny's expense, and then just sounded like one big drug-induced orgy and orgasmic ecstasy trip between these two that always got violent. And there was a lot of humiliation involved, directed at him, the male, not the female. And I don't believe her. Her chart shows we astrologers can also see a propensity for telling lies. She has this indication in her chart. And if you want to know these and more astrological secrets, come and study astrology with me. You can find my website, www.threekeysastrology.com, where all my services are listed. It's not too late for you to jump in to the new class that's starting at the end of April, where we meet once a week for an hour and a half via Zoom, and in 10-week modules. There are 4 of them. So you take care, and I pray that you don't have a life that's filled with this kind of hatefulness, just pure hate. It's not what God wants for any of you. And when you have things in the chart, such as Venus opposite Pluto or square Pluto or in conjunct Pluto, like I said, go get help. If you feel like you're up and down and up and down and up and down, there can be a reason for that. We astrologers can see these things. Amber Heard definitely has indications of attention deficit, of bipolarity, of being very verbally aggressive and very, very angry, and of manipulation. That apex to the T-square between her moon and Venus means I'm using my female sexuality to get whatever I want, and it's with betrayal, and it's deceptive, and it ends up being a fight every time. You guys take care. I hope you enjoy these. Try to have a nice weekend. It's Earth Day. I hope you planted some flowers or trees. Hope you're planting your gardens. And I am interested in what you think. And I do care about what you feel and who else you would like me to analyze. But go check out those old Joan Crawford movies. I was starting to say in this trial, she sits stone faced. And one of the signs of psychopathy is a stare. And that almost like it's an impenetrable stare that people don't blink. And there's not any emotional expression behind the eyes. She sits like this stone face, but remember, she's an actress. And it's very different. It almost looks drugged on certain days compared to the way she looked, um, and maybe back in the snippets of the trials back in 2018 that happened in the UK. There's a stark difference in her demeanor, and she rarely shows emotion. Black Moon Lilith is a psychopath. She doesn't care. She doesn't care how bad she hurts you or what she does to you. She can have a conscience in the way that Amber Heard doesn't want to get found out. They both were in this pact of secrecy. We've unfortunately heard in some of the audio tapes where they hate each other, they can't get along with each other, they want each other's power, and yet they want to protect each other's dirty secrets, the illicit drug use and the alcoholism and the heinous behaviors. And that's sick. Those sick secrets happen in these kind of destructive relationships. Always. If anything has to be secret, then just know that Black Moon Lilith is lurking around somewhere, and so is the devil. Things that are secretive are the first warning that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and get the hell out of there, because you'll go to hell. Wherever Pluto is a place you'll go to hell in your chart. Where Black Moon Lilith is, you have a thief in the midst. And there's a lot of difficult proof in the birth chart of Amber Heard, who now has an ugly nickname that rhymes with Heard about the defecated sheets. It's ugly. It's embarrassing. And reputations last for a lifetime. So this is me, Lori with 3 Keys Astrology, saying thank you so much. I hope you enjoy these videos, and just let me know if you want me to go further. I can do Johnny Depp's Black Moon Lilith, and I can also give you a reading that involves both of them so you can see a sample of what the couples reading look like that I offer. And in couples readings, I don't mean just lovers or married partners. I mean any two people involved in any kind of power struggle. I offer those couples readings on Lada's channel, at Lada's website, astrolada.com. Take care, everyone, and have a really nice weekend. Don't live like these two fools.